So this gets kind of weird. Catch up to you guys. You guys are still... Don't worry, the numbers can get gross. Oh well, you got calculators. Yeah. Yeah, oh my gosh. That's not big. Alright. So let me catch up to you. So you bring the 1 down. Multiply. Add. Multiply.
60.
Add. Multiply.
Negative 64.
Negative 64. Good.
62.
Negative 62. Multiply.
248.
248. Like. 253. Multiply.
916.
1,000.
Yeah.
12.
1,012. Or
Negative
like.
1,012.
Yeah. Exactly. Because 4 250s would be 1,000. And then 4 3s is 12. So 1,012. Negative. I like it. So negative 1,012. Negative 1,014. All right. So don't cry to me about numbers. I don't care. It can be millions. I don't care. I don't care. Not even that much. So what's the answer?
X to the 5th minus
No.
4.
X to the 4th, right? So the 5th got knocked down by 1?
Sorry.
I'm sorry?
Minus 4x to the 3rd.
16x squared. 62x. 253 minus 1,014 over x plus 4. So that means that this number was off by just 1,014. That's all. But again, what happens in the real world? Shit, things like that happen. Okay, cool. I like it. That's why I love teaching stats. If you ever take statistics, you're always plus or minus 4%. And people are like, why won't they tell me that? I thought this was math. And it's like, no, this is real life math. You don't know anything in real life for certain. That's why I love stats. Stats is like, I think it's 3. Plus or minus 7. You know, I love it. All right, sorry. It's a little unnecessary side note. All right. So that's enough about synthetic. So just try the homework problems I signed. And like I said, I'm not going to get anything too freaky. But you know, if I was dividing by x squared minus 9, x to the 5th, blah, 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 could I use synthetic on that? Not the way it's written, but that's x plus 3x minus 3. I could divide by, I could put a little 3 in there, and then the answer I could do a little negative 3. And, you know, so it's not impossible to do if the bottom is not x, but I'm just going to make the bottom x plus 7 or x minus 2, make it nice for right now. Yeah.
For the square or the cube, or do you want to do the x plus 3, x minus 3?
You would. I'm not going to make you do that this semester. My whole goal this semester for what you got to show me you can do is just, can you set it up? That's all. I'm not going to do anything freaky with the bottom. I just want to let you know, if the bottom was a little freakier, there are things you could do. You could even use complex numbers. I'm not saying you'd want to, but you could. All right. So, what I want to do for the rest of the time here, if we don't have any questions left over from the review, is to do some problems out of chapter 7. And I've said this before, my Math 90 students from last semester, you remember me saying, the more you know factoring, the easier chapter 7 is. If you're not good at factoring, you cannot do chapter 7. That's it. It's all about factoring. So the very first thing we do, well, first thing, what's the official name for something that looks like that? All right, fraction is the informal slang name. What's the official name? What kind of number is that? Rational. I like it. So this is a rational number. And what cannot happen with a rational number? Bottom can't be 0. What is it if the bottom, what would you say the answer was to this problem? And why do you say that's the answer? Say again?
You can't divide 6 by 0.
Why not?
0 is 0.
So, 1's 1. I'm sorry, I'm not coming down here. This is one of those places where you don't just accept it. Why do we call it undefined? There must be some reason we call it undefined. There must be some reason we can't do it.
If you looked at it as a slope, then you would have.
You wouldn't run at all. You would only rise. But that still doesn't explain why I can't, do it somehow. Yeah.
Right, there. Can't divide and look at that.
All right, so let me help you guys out. Because I'm not saying you should know necessarily. My Math 90 students, it's been a while since I told you this, I understand.
Multiplied by the reciprocal, you get nothing.
So it's sort of related to that, but a little more directly. Now watch. What's 10 divided by 2? Why? Because 5 times 2 is 10. So the number that I would write here would have to be the number defined such that when I multiply by 0, I get 6. Is there any number defined to do that? So this is undefined. Holy shit. So that's the whole, there you go. Very quick little story that a lot of teachers never tell you. Right? That would drive me crazy as a student. Especially the teacher didn't know. Why is it because I said so? No, you're not my dad. Tell me. Because I said so. That's the only person that gets away with that kind of shit. All right, good. So, what does that have to do with what we're doing? Because we're way beyond this kind of stuff. So, that's a rational number. So, what happens? What do I call this?
Rational expression.
Rational expression. I like it. So, it's a ratio of two expressions. So, this is a rational expression. And what cannot happen here either? The bottom can't be 0. Now, period. For any ratio of things, the bottom can't be 0, because like we just said, that ends up with an undefined situation. The answer is undefined, so we want to stay away from that. But here, you can't just say 0. When I say what makes this undefined, 0. No. What makes the bottom 0?
4.
Yes. So you'd say the bottom can't be 0. Therefore, x cannot be 4. Kick ass. And obviously you can just see it here. But how would you do this? Tell me what x can't be for this one. Which one, Jeff? Give me a second, sir. 4x minus 7 over... What can x not be?
Negative 10 and 1.
What do you do? Well, why was this one easy? Because it's one little piece. It's one little piece. So here, how do you factor this? Yeah. So you say the bottom can't be 0. How do you solve that? Factor.
Negative 5.
They both have to be negative, right? So they multiply to be positive, add to be negative. So then x can't be what? 4 or 5. So you plug 4 or 5 in, the bottom becomes 0. So I can't use those, because then I get undefined freakiness. I like it. Cool. So that's one little thing I want to talk about. Is any fractions, whether they be made of numbers or they be made of numbers that I don't know yet. That's all variables are. The bottom can't be 0. I like it. Is it okay if x is 0 here?
Yeah.
All day long, because I get negative 4. Is it okay if x is 0 here?
Yeah.
Of course, because I get 20 on the bottom. So it's not. Don't say x can't be 0. X can be 0. It's just if 0 makes the bottom 0, then yeah, it can't be 0. But here, 4 and 5 are the ones that it can't be, because those are what make the bottom 0. I like it. People just key in so much on 0, you just didn't go far enough with it. All right. What else do we do with fractions besides realize I can't divide by 0? Well, what do you do with this fraction here? What do you got, Jeff? I don't know, Jeff, man. Sure. What's your instinct say I would want you to do with this? Reduce. I like it. How do you reduce this?
The greatest common factor.
Yeah. What's the biggest number that goes into both? Well, let's see.
12.
12 doesn't go into this, right? 12 goes into 12 and not 8.
Yeah. Let's start with 2.
Let's start with 2, sure. So this is 2 times 24 over 2 times 64. So then the 2's cancel. You can do 2 again, right? Or does somebody see something there?
Yeah. 12 has 32.
Oh, if you use 2, but I can use 4, right? Or I can use 8. 8's even better. Somebody said 8. 8 times 3 over 8 times 8. So then 3/8. I like it. Now, I'll bet you anything you guys wouldn't write it like that. I wouldn't blame you for that. You just cancel what's common without writing it. But when I have variables, I got to write what's going on for myself. I can't just think about it in my head as easy as numbers. So when I have something like this, what you got, Jeff? I don't know, man. Sure. The worst thing, let me see if I can make this point hard enough that nobody ever does this ever. You so desperately cannot just cancel the x squares, right? I understand why you want to. You're like, well, there's an x square on the top, an x square on the bottom. Well, leave me alone, Jeff. But can you reduce this? Of course not. But wait. What? So what? Who gives a shit? Reducing fractions requires me to write things in terms of multiplication, right? Because what's the big bar in the middle? Division. Division can only cancel multiplication. It is not powerful enough to cancel subtraction or addition. But there's still somebody who's sitting here right now today that is going to do this. It just happens. I don't know how to stop it. But you guys understand why you cannot do that? It's the same reason I can't say, oh, now I can. The answer's 1. Or 2. You know, there's 1 up there plus 1. I don't know what the hell. I don't even know what you'd say there. That please understand that's crap. Don't say, my teacher said to do this. No, he didn't. Alright, so you gotta factor, just like we did this, we factored it and canceled what was common. That we gotta do the same thing we do with numbers, because that's what these are. So how do you factor the top?
X negative 3, X plus 3. Or X negative 5, X negative 3.
I like it. Is everybody cool with that?
Yeah.
And then of course what cancels?
X minus 3.
Bam! So then that's my answer, x plus 3 over x minus 5. I'm going to stop there for a second. Absorb that. This is what I mean by if you can't factor, chapter 7 is dead to you. Right? The better you can factor, the easier chapter 7 becomes. Because it's all about factoring for the most part. Real quick, my students know I do this sometimes. Bless you. My students from 90. That problem is done, right? That problem is done. I'm about to do some Jeff weirdness. So just realize you never have to do this. What is x? What could x be? What could x not be in this problem?
0.
No. It can't be 5 or 3. So let's let it be 4. It could have been 211. I don't want to do 211. Let's let x be 4. All right, let me make this point again. You never have to do this. This is me doing weird shit, just showing you something interesting. Right? If x is 4, what's this? 4 squared?
16.
Minus 9. 7. And what's this? 16 minus 8 times 4? 32 plus 15. 16 minus 32 is? Negative 16 plus 15? Negative 1. So I get negative 7, right? And the answer was x plus 3, or what's 4 plus 3? Because x is 4, 7. And what's 4 minus 5? Negative 1. So I mean, this is this. Any x value you pick. Now this one didn't happen, there was no reducing to be done here, because the bottom was negative 1. Ooh, good choice, Jeff. Oh, well, leave me alone. But if you let x be, let's try one more, and then I'll let it be. What if x was 6? What do I get? 36 minus 9. 27. That looks more interesting. Over 36 minus 48 plus 15. 36 and 15 makes 51 minus 48 is 3. So I should get 9. And what do I get here with flex is 6? Oh, good choice again, Jeff. Hold on. 6 plus 3 over 6 minus 5? 9. So any choice you pick for x, besides, of course, the ones that make it undefined, whatever that fraction is, will reduce to be this. That's what you just did. So that's why this is relatively difficult, because what did you just do? You just reduced an infinite number of fractions. Do you understand that? When you do this, in that context, that was freaking easy. If I said, okay, I want you to reduce an infinite number of fractions, go. I'm out. But that's what you did. This is exactly what we did. Because you can let x be 27.394, and it'll still work. Holy shit. All right, enough of that. Yes.
For us to do any of the homework or anything, or the test, how do you want us to explain it? Do you want us to pick the number?
Oh, no. So again. You never have to do this, ever. This is me just showing you something interesting. This is actually one way to kind of check your work,
Okay.
in a way. This is work that you can't, it doesn't seem like you should be able to check it, but that is sort of a way to check it. If you got 27 over 3 here, and this was 4 over 7, something went wrong, right? But you never have to do this, ever. I just like to show you that this is what's concretely happening within all this abstract shit. This is representing an infinite number of numbers. Well, let's look at one of them just to kind of see what's going on. Okay, cool. I like it. Okay, good. Let's see. So here, you guys try this one. Blah, 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 blah. Sure. Try that one, and then... Sure. I'll make one up. This always gets nerve-wracking. So you really want to look at these as a collection of little problems. So that's a problem, and that's a problem, that's a problem, and that's a problem. And the last thing you do is kill anybody who's conquered. I think I watched too much Game of Thrones.
You start here, does it?
Oh, you're good. Yeah, because you can't factor there's nothing else that's factorable.
Can you give me one equation? Just one equation, just the prime one. Just the prime.
So you want
The prime equation we can factor the prime.
Sure. Y squared plus 50. Or y squared minus
No, with plus here, remember with plus. It was kind of the prime.
Yeah.
We can factor.
Sure. I mean, all I have to do is something like that.
Oh, because 70 is a prime.
Well, all right. because there's no factor of 30. That had to be negative 8.
Just prime. Is that?
So it's prime. So that's why when I make the factor problem, I have to think ahead to make it work. If I just make something out of nowhere, it more than likely won't work. Because the numbers have to play well against each other. Right? It's very easy to make one that won't work.
I think you probably final less prime. What are the answers?
What do you mean? For what?
Final 90 lessons.
Yeah, at least one of them was fun. Yeah. You know I'm going to throw that at you. All right, let me catch up to you guys. How do you factor the top here?
Z minus 5. Z minus 5. Z plus 2.
All right, good. The bigger one's got to be negative, so the middle comes out negative. I like it. Real quick way to check yourself at the end. Negative 5 and 2 makes negative 3. Bam, that's a quick check. So just make sure that they actually combine to make the middle term. So what do you got on the bottom?
Z negative 4. Z plus 2.
Yeah, Z minus 4. Negative 4 and 2 makes negative 2. Good, so then what cancels?
Z plus 2.
Good, so the answer is Z minus 5 over Z minus 4. Bam! And you can check yourself by picking a value for Z. What values of Z can you not use?
Plus 9.
4
Or negative.
and negative 2. Is it okay to use 5?
Yeah.
Of course it is. The bottom can be 0. I mean, the top can be 0. Listen to me. Go out there in the world. But no, the top can be 0 all day long. Real quick, if I have 10 things and 5 people, each person gets 2 things. Great. That's well defined. If I have nothing and I got 5 people, how much does each person get? Nothing. Okay, that's well defined. If I have 5 things and nobody, not even me, is there, who's holding the shit? What are you talking about? That is undefined, right? Trying to make a physical situation for this is almost impossible. So that's undefined situation. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll let that go. I just like that example. So what happens here? The bottom is easy because it's the same thing there. I just noticed. Oh well. Right?
Y minus 5
Z
plus
minus
2.
All right. What do you have to do on the top?
We have 4.
Good. GCF saves your ass. Right now, this is nothing. It's trying to be a cube, it looks like, but 4 is not something cubed. Nothing pretty. But GCF saves your ass. You always try GCF first. So 4 comes out, and you're left with,
Y plus 2. Oh,
yeah, y cubed plus 8, which is a classic cube. So how do you do that? Little dude, big dude. I like it. Well, you have to be sort of semi-big. Y, 2, 2, 2. 1 Y and 1, 2. I like it. The other 2 Ys. The other 2 2s. And then the middle goes what? Minus 2Y. I like it. And on the bottom we got the Y minus 5, Y plus 2. So what cancels?
Y plus 6.
Y plus 2. So the answer is going to be 4 times Y squared minus 2Y plus 4 over Y minus 5. Like somebody fell out. Alright. You never have to multiply stuff out at the end. I mean, leave it all separated because then you can verify for yourself that you're done. Nothing else cancels. One quick little thing here. It's just noticing where the survivors are. Because the whole thing is kill what's common and then collect all the survivors, right? Again, I think I watched too much Walking Dead, too. Don't leave the survivors behind. That would suck for them. What about this kind of problem here? What is it? I don't know. Yeah, I like it. Cool. Take a minute and try to do that one. Reduce that. And remind yourself, you can never cancel anything unless the operations are opposite. Division is not the opposite of subtraction, so you cannot cancel anything the way it is right now. There's a specific thing I want to make sure people do correctly. All right, so sort of like that last one we did, because the bottom then you have to do first.
Get rid of the 2.
And then what can you do?
M minus plus 7.
I like it.
And cross out.
Yes, minus that.
So let me finish it out. Don't say anything. You ready? I like it. You guys are like, so those can go away. Like you're going to say, so the answer is this. Right? Isn't that great?
What number then?
I like it. You should be upset at me. Where are you?
It's 1 over that.
Who's this
right?
guy? Does he know math? Yeah, good. I like it. 1 over that, because your survivors are where?
At the
On the bottom. So they got to be on the bottom. Yeah.
You put the 2 back in.
Well, 2's there.
2m plus 4.
Oh, you could. You wouldn't be wrong if you did, but I'm just saying you don't have to. Yes, sir.
Going back to the second one, how'd you get the 2y again? Because you multiplied it.
Oh, yeah, so just looking at y cubed plus 8 by itself real quick. Y, 2, 2, 2. Like 1y, 1, 2.
Yeah.
2 y's, 2 2's, and the middle guy is always, whatever the hell this is, times whatever the hell that is, always. So it'll be 2y, just has to be the opposite sign. Why does it have to be the opposite sign? Because it's the cleanup dude. It's to cancel the shit you don't want. It's the wolf from Pulp Fiction. If you've never seen Pulp Fiction, you should see it probably. It's a movie from your day. Shut up. Okay. So again, I mean, this is all about factoring, like I keep saying, until you go insane. If you're not a factor, this is easy. How do I do this here? What is it? I don't know. Sure. I like it.
16 on 20 left.
Good. Please, dear God. Well, maybe you're saying it's right. What do you do then?
Cross cancel.
Cross cancel. I like it. Don't multiply 16 and 81, 27, 20, and then try to reduce. Oh my God. Reduce now when the numbers are relatively small. Right? So what happens with 16 and 20? Yeah. Real quick. That's simple, right? But how far apart are 16 and 20? 4. So maybe 4 goes into both. I don't know if you understand that. So like if I saw 512 and 520, what might go into both? 8. I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying that's a good first guess. Because how do multiples work? You count by 8, 16, 24. So if they're 8 apart, maybe 8 will go in, or maybe 4 will go in. Obviously 2 will go in. I don't know if you guys see what I'm saying. Little things like, do you know how to tell if a number is divisible by 9? I'm Math 90 students.
Scotty Green?
No.
You'd have to add it to.
Yeah, so this number here, that is divisible by 9. Because 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 6 is 9. I mean, those little things like that, I think they're teaching it less and less. Because like, we got calculators now. I don't have to know shit. That's bullshit. It's so much better if you understand these little things. And you know what to try on this kind of a problem. I don't care if the calculator can do it. Who cares? I know 9 will go in, so I know to try 9. I got to know something before I can use a freaking calculator, right? So I know 9 can go in. And 9 can go into anything that... 9 will go into this number here. What number, Jeff? I don't know. What does that add up to be?
18.
So any multiple of 9, if the number's added to a multiple of 9, 9 goes in. Obviously, if 9 goes in, 3 goes in, right? And the 3 works the same way. Any multiple of 3, they add it to a multiple of 3, 3 goes in. All right, I'm sorry. I'll stop. Okay. All right. Oh, real quick. I know that 4 goes into this number because 4 goes into the last 2 numbers. That's all I need. If the last 2 numbers are divisible by 4, the entire damn thing is divisible by 4. It's just a good thing to know. It's because 4 times 25 is 100. That actually is exactly why that works. But, you know, if the last 2 numbers are divisible by 4, the whole thing is. I mean, those kind of things are good to know. Did anybody know that before I said that? See? Some of you guys did, maybe, okay. But this is just good to know. Okay, sir. I'll let it pass. So, obviously, what goes into both of those? 9. So you get 3 and 9. But see that? See? 27 goes in. Because of what goes into those?
1, 3.
I like it. So then you get 12. Okay, so that's old news. That's old news. So the new stuff, of course, is going to be like this. Okay, get ready. All right, I got to make stuff that works. Oh shit! Everybody, pray. Yeah, let's make it nice and gross. Ooh, that's gross. Oh, I'm getting. Oh shit! Let's see if I did that right. You never know. Sure, why not? Okay, I like it. Woo! So do that. You're welcome. Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I can hear you. I'm not going to grade these kind of things. This is the perfect time to just try something if you're not sure what to do. I'm not going to grade it. I'm never going to see it unless you show it to me. Yeah, okay. That should work.